Welcome back. Today on Real Reviews, we have a speaker comparison for you. We have the LG XBOOM XL9T party speaker versus the JBL Partybox 710. And I know you guys have been waiting for this review to come out, and do apologize it took longer than expected, but it's really hard to compare these two speakers, and you're going to see why on the sound test, and we'll also talk about it as well. So first off, I just want to show you the boxes, the way that they look. The boxes are almost the same size. One of the only big differences with the boxes themselves is that if you look on the LG box right here versus the JBL box, on JBL, it actually gives you instructions on how to get it out of the box. On the LG, it doesn't. And another thing that is notable on these boxes is on the JBL box, you do have handles to grab it on the sides versus on the LG box, there are no handles at all. So it makes it definitely more awkward to carry this box. So you will notice here that between the two speakers, the LG is a little bit taller than the JBL, and just by a tiny bit. I don't know if it's maybe like a 1/4 inch or so, but you know, that doesn't really make any big difference at all. But one thing I do have to say before I forget is that on the LG speaker, there is something right here that's sharp. These edges right here are a little bit sharp, like right here. And on the JBL, this handle is really sharp right here. So guys, keep that in mind when you're grabbing these speakers, that the handle is kind of sharp on the JBL, and on the LG, this edge is kind of sharp, so you don't hurt yourself. All right, so let's take a look at these speakers from the front right here. You can see on the JBL, we do have the 8-inch sub speaker. We have the JBL badge there in the middle, and then we have some 2 3/4 inch tweeters up here at the top, if you can see those. So here on the LG, we have 8-inch subs as well. We have the XBOOM badge right here in the middle. And then right up here at the top, we actually have 3-inch tweeters versus the JBL's 2.75 inch. So now looking at the top panel on the JBL, we have the JBL logo right here. We have our knobs for the light buttons, turn it on and off. We also have a nice little knob for the volume, play pause button there in the middle. We have our Bluetooth button. We have our bass boost, power button. And then we also have some bass treble and echo controls for the microphone, plus 3 programmable sound effects, which is kind of nice. And then we also do have a spot right here where you can put your tablet or your phone. It is kind of narrow, so be aware of that. I don't know what's really going to fit in there, especially not with a case on it, but it is there nonetheless. We come over here to the LG. We'll notice we also do have some knobs for the lighting. We also have a knob for the volume, play, pause button. And then we have our source button, USB and Bluetooth. And then we have our sound boost button and our power button. Now you will notice right here on the top, there's nothing else. So you don't have any bass, treble, or echo controls like you do on the JBL. And you also do not have that spot to put your device there up at the top. So coming around to the back of the speakers, starting with the JBL, we'll notice we do have a little rubberized handle right here. It's not squishy, it's just hard rubberized handle. It does give you some grip. Right underneath the handle, you have a etched in JBL logo. And if you keep coming down here, you have your nice little back panel. And in the back panel, you have your mic port and your mic/guitar port with a nifty little switch if you want to switch between mic and guitar. These are both 1/4 inch. You have your gain for each. You also have your volume for each. And in the middle, you have your USB-A. This is a 5-volt 2.1 amps to be able to charge your devices. You have a 3.5mm aux-in port. Your TWS button for wirelessly connecting more than one 710 speaker. And right underneath, you have your 3.5mm wired daisy chain port for connecting multiple speakers as well. You have your bass port. Bass port kind of just goes up. Pretty nice little bass port there. And then we have our power port right here with the little door on it. Pretty cool. It's just a standard JBL power port. And then we have our wheels. We will show you how this rolls, but just taking a look at the wheels, they have the little JBL badge on them. They feel pretty rough and rugged. They're not rubberized or anything. They're just plastic. Both of them are just basically plastic wheels, but they do feel pretty rough and rugged. And we will check out the wheels on both in just a second. We come over here to the LG. You can see the handle. I like the handle on the LG a little bit better, even though it doesn't have any rubberized grip on it. It just feels a little bit more sturdy. You know, on the JBL, it's just, I don't know. I don't really like it. It feels kind of skinny and kind of sharp up here at the top versus the LG is just feels like a better handle to me. So we come down a little bit here. We're going to notice underneath the handle, it's nice and red. So that does look pretty cool. And then we have our back panel with the LG logo. And here in the back panel, you have your mic 1, your mic 2, which also doubles as a guitar port. You have your volume for both of them right above. And if you wanted to use mic 2 as a guitar port, you do have a nifty little guitar button you would press right there. To the right, you have your mic echo, 1, 2 are off. And right down below, you have your USB-A port, but as you can see, it only says 500 milliamps. So I'm not really sure if that's going to charge your device or not. So just bear that in mind. Then we have our nice bass port that also goes up on the LG. And then right underneath, we have our power port. And this is one of the cooler features I like about this LG. They really thought this through, because when you put your cable in here, this actually closes on the cable and keeps it safe from splashes. And we will look at that a bit more when I plug these speakers in. Now, if you go all the way down to the bottom here, we have some nice bigger wheels. The wheels on this speaker are really, really nice. They do have the little X logo on them. So these wheels, they feel pretty sturdy. I really like these wheels on the LG, and it rolls really well with them. And we'll take a look at that in just a moment. And taking a look at the bottom of the speakers here on the JBL, you'll notice that you have just 4 of the non-slip pads, 1 in each corner, versus on the LG in the front, it has just like a little piece of plastic sticking out here. It really doesn't help much when you're trying to move it around on the floor. But it also does have 4 pads and has a little handle as well. All right, so I wanted to show you how the wheels work on these speakers. And first we'll start with the JBL. Now the JBL wheels, they feel okay, I guess. They do have a good angle, so they're not kind of like hitting if you're trying to pull the speaker back and forth, but they really don't roll that great. I'm not really too into the JBL wheels, to be honest with you. They also don't really look that great either. They're okay, but JBL wheels, I don't know, it kind of loses the point. The LG wheels are great. These wheels really work well. They seem really smooth and they seem really sturdy. And they also have pretty much any angle you want when you're rolling them around. They don't get stuck on the carpet. All right, so let's just go ahead and get these speakers plugged in real quick. If you notice on the JBL, it has a 90-degree plug right here. And if we turn the speaker to the side, I want to show you how this plugs in. So this basically plugs in just like this. And when you plug it in, the port is just wide open like that. If we go over here to the LG, this has a 90-degree port, the opposite direction like that, on both ends. So this end plugs into the speaker, this end into the wall. This we're going to see, I'm not so sure about that one. And you can get it close to a wall if it's like behind a table or a couch or something. So it is kind of nice. But being that it's a 90-degree, it can also cover one of your other plugs unless you're plugging it into the bottom. So this is what I really like about this plug here, is because of this 90-degree angle here, when you plug it in, it has a spot right here that it goes in between, and this just completely closes over it. So no water is going to get in there. So this is where the 90-degree plug becomes a problem. If you're plugging it in like this, then you can't actually plug anything else in beneath it. So it has to be in the bottom plug in order for it to work properly. All right, we're going to power both of these on and see which one turns on faster. Here we go. And the LG turns on almost instantly. And there goes the JBL. The JBLs are notoriously slow for turning on for some reason. I don't really know why, but this LG speaker turns on super fast. And let's see which one turns off faster. LG turns off faster as well. So with both of these speakers here, if you happen to forget about them and leave them on without playing any music, they will turn off after about 15 minutes. If you notice the lighting on both of the speakers, the JBL does have the LED light strips on both of the sides. It also has all the lights around the speakers, plus the strobe lights that flash, as well as the strobe on the top and the bottom. On the LG, you do have a top strobe, you have a middle strobe here and here, but no strobe at the bottom. Then you have a bunch of little like starlight flashing all around. And the other thing that the LG does have is the pixel art display here at the top, which you can actually program your own text into, up to 40 characters, as well as images you can create using the LG app. On the top of the LG, the lights you have are the lights for your sound boost on or off, your power light, and your mode indicator light. There are no lights on the lighting knob or the volume knob. On the JBL, there are only lights for the bass boost, your Bluetooth, and your power button. There are no lights for the volume knob or the light knob either. And that is all the lights they have on the top panels. Just in case you're curious to see if either one of these have lighting in the back panel, this is the 710, there's no lighting. And here's the LG, it doesn't have any lighting either in the back panel. The LG XBOOM XL9T speaker sizes has 2 3-inch tweeters versus the Partybox 710 has 2 2.75-inch tweeters. Neither speaker has any mids, so there is no true separates. And both speakers have 2 8-inch woofers. Wattage on the XBOOM XL9T is 1000 watts versus the Partybox 710 is rated at only 800 watts. The LG comes in at 60.6 pounds versus the JBL's 61.3 pounds. Dimensions on the LG is 15 inches wide by 17 inches deep by 36 inches tall. On the 710, we have 15.7 inches wide, 17.2 inches deep, and 35.6 inches tall. The apps that is used for the LG is the XBOOM app, and for the 710, we have the Partybox app. Inputs on the LG, we have Bluetooth, mic jack, mic guitar jack, and USB. On the 710, we have Bluetooth, aux, USB, mic jack, mic guitar jack. On the LG, we do have some additional features. We have the pixel art display, and we also have sound effects and such if you're using the microphone for karaoke mode. On the 710, there are no really additional features except for some top panel effects in the app. The LG's cord length comes in at only 5 feet versus the JBL's cable length is actually 6, which makes it a little bit better. They both auto shut down within 15 minutes. All right, so what we're going to do right now, we're going to play a few tracks so you guys can hear the way both of these speakers sound versus each other. So please just sit back and enjoy the music.
the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday.
Right. So my final thoughts on these speakers and what I kind of think about both of them is that when I first got the LG, I really thought it was better than a 710. So I actually had to go back out and get a 710 to compare it. And I can tell you right now, the way I think that the LG sounds better on a flat EQ with the sound boost on, or even with the sound boost off, I think there's some EQ settings that they have going on from LG that allow it to sound better. I think they're kind of like boosting it up versus on the JBL, it's kind of doesn't have that boost on it. You really have to add in the EQ if you want to boost up the vocals, or if you want to boost up the bass. But I can definitely say that the JBL has deeper bass. The LG has a lot of punchy bass. The LG seems to project the vocals out when you have the sound boost on. With the sound boost off on the LG, the JBL seems to project the vocals a lot better. Build quality on both of these speakers seems pretty good. I do think the JBL has a bit of an edge for the grill, at least. The grill on the JBL is a little bit stronger versus the LG. You can hear this grill is really solid. This grill is just like kind of flimsy. Besides that, the only other things that I noticed about it on the LG, like I said, sharp edges right here on these side pieces. And on the JBL, you have some sharp edges right here behind the handle. Now heat, because I did have a problem with the JBL last time, it does actually heat up still behind the handle right here. And the LG actually heats up right over here on the left-hand side. But both of these are really good speakers. Both of them sound really good. And it's hard for me to say really which one is better besides the fact that JBL has deeper bass. So price range, or price wise, I should say, the LG comes in at about $100 less than the JBL. So it's kind of just depending on what your preference is, which speaker you like better for the features and such. Because I think like sound wise, I don't really know, guys. I can't really tell you which one I definitely prefer. I mean, you know, I'm partial to JBL, so I'll pick the JBL over the LG, but the LG does sound really good. So if you're interested in watching an in-depth video of the LG, I do currently have one, and I will leave it in the description. And I will also leave you a video of the JBL if you're interested in seeing more about this speaker as well. If you're interested in purchasing either one of these speakers, I will have links in the description where you'll be able to get them from. And if you would like to show your support, please be sure to use my links, since anything you purchase does generate a small revenue for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you never miss another video on Real Reviews. See you guys next time.